So in today's session, we'll begin with Elastic Cloud Computing, or say EC2 service, where we'll quickly spin up an EC2 instance, load a page for that, load some script for it, and we'll open the web page. So in today's session, the first thing that we are going to cover, that is Elastic Cloud Computing. Second is I will know what type of instances that are available. We'll see what are all the key components in a EC2 instance, such as AMI, security groups, and key pairs. We'll come to an understanding in while we are creating the EC2 instances. Another is the launch workflow, that how exactly we launch the AWS EC2 instance, how we load the code, and how we secure the code, and how it is important to terminate the EC2 instance. And also the cost optimization, which means we'll have to select some minimal required services only when we are launching. We are firstly launching the EC2 instance. So we'll come to know that how we are going to do this. So there are other compute services that we are gonna explore, that is EKS, that is Elastic Kubernetes Service, which is basically used in Linux, and one is AWS Lambda, which is also very important. We'll see in this video, and much more we can explore, and you can explore if you have created an account on AWS Management Console. So what exactly AWS EC2 is? So EC2 is nothing but a virtual server where you get a virtual server where you spin where you can actually load your code, and you can just simply run it and make it publicly available for the people using an URL. And if you want a specific domain for it, you can actually use the DNS system for that, and you can map the domain. So here you don't need any physical hardware where you have to see the cost management, the maintenance of the data centers, or many other such things. So in this case, you have to just buy a virtual server, load your code, set up some cloud environment for it with a better cost optimization. And then you host it. It's as simple as that. We will come across those things. So what are all the steps that we are going to see in EC2 is, first we launch the instance, and we can do it quickly in as simple as we do it in 2 or 3 minutes, or maximum 10 minutes as per the configuration. Second thing is we can scale the capacity up and down, which means there is an option for scalability, as we took an example for Book My Show, where the number of users were increasing on the weekend and decreasing, so vice versa. So and one more thing, which is very key important part of the cloud, that is you have to pay only for what you use. So if you are going to use the EC2 instance for say 1 hour, 30 minutes and 20 seconds, you have to only pay for 1 hour, 30 minutes and 20 seconds. You need not to pay a little more or a little less. So one more thing, that is choosing operating system and software. Okay, so this is very important for a developer to set up a cloud environment. So he has to select the number of compute resources required, such as CPU, GPU if needed, and also like the size of the application or the website. So we need a storage capacity of say 1 TB. So we only pay for it. We need not to take a more than that or say lesser than that. And in case we buy it for 1 TB and the user storage has been increased over the time, no worries about that part. The storage can be increased whenever needed. So why choose EC2 instances? So when we say why do we need actually everything virtually? So the very first thing that should come to our mind is the people are shifting from traditional to virtualization. So traditional is nothing but when we go back to 2000 or 2005, at that time people used to have their own hardware, set up their own virtual machines, set up their own storages, set up their own networks and the compute systems. So it used to come at a very high cost, and also comes with a very many types of problems like maintenance or many other such things. So this is the very key important thing. So many people shifted from on-premises, that is traditional IT, to virtualization, that is using any services provided by cloud providers like AWS and many others like Azure and all. So this is very important, and the first key point is flexible OS option. So when you use your own laptop or say any other desktops, the first thing is we get a pre-installed Windows, but we have a flexible option in this for the EC2, You bring any kind of operating system such as Linux, Windows, Mac OS, or any other such things. There is no problem for that. You can simply load your EC2 instances and spin it up. So it is platform independent. Another is elastic scaling. So I'll again take the example of Book My Show. When suppose we have our own hardware, for say you have your own company called Book My Show, and you are running your own hardware, and out of nowhere the customers were came to peak for Friday, and your capacity of users was around 10,000, and at that time you get around 20 to 25,000 number of people who are trying to access your website. So what happens at that time is your server will go down. Usually people say that. So when the server goes down, the first thing that we lose is the business. So the business will be stopped at for some time. So this is very important when we come to the cloud. We get an option for elasticity, which means which means whenever you want more number of servers, you get those number of servers and you only pay for that time. You say if you say on Friday from between 8 to 9 p.m. like 25,000 people use those sorry try to access your website, and you only have to pay for that number of period of time. And so when we come to the Monday morning, say around 7 to 12, or say the whole day, we will be having very less number of users, and very less number of servers will be used at that time. So we'll be getting very less bills. So this is very important that we have an option for elastic scaling, or say scalability in AWS. And one more is secure and reliable. So when going back to the traditional IT, it was a very important and key factor that the security was the most key factor in that part. So in cloud, it is very easy and very reliable for the people to not worry about security. They by default get in security. Only thing that matters is we need not to share our credentials with anyone, and that's all. We have to create setup and multi-factor authentication, and your account is as secure as it's your own thing. And very last point, but not least, that is no physical hardware, which means you need not to create your own data center or buy your own hardware for your servers. You just need to it's like renting a server or renting a machine. You just pay for some number of hours and you can exit out of it. So okay, so let's begin with launching an instance. So just a second. I'll have to reshare the screen to share it entirely. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible entirely. Okay. So we go for AWS Management Console. I hope as we get into the course, we have to create an account on AWS Management Console, and then only you can access the services like EC2, S3, or many such more. So if you want to have a hands-on, you will have to create an account on AWS Management Console. So yeah, coming to the screen, we'll simply go on this search bar over here on the dashboard. We'll search for EC2, or say Elastic Cloud Compute. So as you come over here, you can see that virtual servers in the cloud. EC2 is nothing but a virtual server in the cloud. If someone is asking you what exactly EC2 is, you have to say virtual server in the cloud. So okay, we'll click on the EC2 option, and we'll before we launch a server, we'll try to explore what exactly things are provided in the section of EC2. So we have a EC2 dashboard. That is, this is the screen, and there is an option for instance, images, elastic block store, security, network and security, load balancing, and auto scaling. So we have to, I mean, there are a few things like scalability or network and security that we know in general. But when we come across some sort of things like images, elastic block store, this will make us wonder what exactly it is. So we'll understand in next steps of launching in server that what exactly images is, what AMI is, what volume is, what snapshots is, what lifecycle manager is. So we'll click on this option for instance and zoom out. Okay. Okay, as a beginner, you just need to go to the dashboard. You need not to even open the EC2 instance section. You just come over here, you click on launch instance. Okay, so this is a very important stage of the launching an instance because you're configuring the instance, right? So you have to be very specific about what exactly are your requirements. Before you launch your instance, you should have a prior knowledge of what thing you need, that is size of the server, how many instances do you need, how many, I mean, what exactly OS do you need? So you have to be very clear about that. So here, this is just an example. So we'll begin with my first instance. So we'll give a name as my first instance, and coming to the next part, that is application and OS images, that is Amazon machine image. So basically what happens is when you create an configuration for certain EC2 instance, what happens at that time, you create a configuration for and set up a certain criteria. So what AWS does it will make your life easy by using AMI. What AMI does is it will save your configuration, and using that configuration you can reuse it in the future or say furthermore EC2 launches. So here we'll basically use this. There are many options like my AMI. You can create your own customized AMI, and you can come to this section, that is quick start. Just a second. Yeah, I have to retype it. My first instance. Okay, so we'll as of now there are many options like Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE, SUSE Linux, and Debian. So here we'll simply use this Amazon Linux, which is by default provided by Amazon, just for launching the instance. There is no such configuration that we are going to create now. This is just a first step of understanding what EC2 instance is. So what we'll do. We'll select an Amazon Linux machine image or say AMI for now. And there are multiple, like many options here which are provided by AWS, but we will choose this one which is for free tier eligible. So my account is still eligible for the free tier. They provide the account free eligibility for 1 year. So you can create an account and you can actually learn. It is free for anyone who create an account. You just have to link your debit card and they won't they won't cut any amount from your account. So you choose this one, free tier eligible, and okay, it is selected. Okay, so you come down. You need not to understand what exactly architecture is. There are many options like. Okay, so here we will have to know that do we need a 64-bit? 32-bit is very outdated. So there are two options, that is for like for Windows, that is 86 at ARM. So we choose 86 over here. Okay, scroll a little and we'll try to choose the type of EC2 instance. So there are many families in the types of EC2 instances, that is T2 nano, T2 micro, there are like this comes under a section of DevOps, but you have to know, this is a very basic thing that you have to know that what is your configuration. So as of now, we say we take one CPU, we take 1 GB of memory and many other things, and it will also tell us the pricing over here itself. So on demand Windows based pricing is $0.0162 per hour. For Ubuntu it is 0.0134. For SUSE it is 0.0116, and for Linux there is 0.11. So we will be using this free tier because my account is still eligible for the free tier. This is very important. We come to the key pair login. So your account should, coming to the network and security part, your account must and should have a key pair. So what we'll do, we'll create a new pair for our new instance. We'll say my first instance key pair. So I'll name it as this. So we'll choose an RSA, encrypted private and public key pair, and we'll choose PEM. So PEM we are going to use. Okay, so there is a difference between PEM PPK. So what PEM is? So PEM stands for which is used for Open SSH, for Open Secure Shell Command, and PPK is used for putty. So we use Open SSH. People who don't know what exactly coding is, they can just open the Secure Shell command and they can use this EC2 instance. But for the people who are sitting in the backend and who are looking for a developer job, or sorry, DevOps job, they have to create an PPK accounts or say for the putty, and they can locally access their server using putty. So here in this case, we are just going to use it on our secure shell command, that is SSH, open SSH. We'll choose it and we'll create a key pair for it. Okay, so the moment I created the key pair, a file was downloaded in my local disk. So using this key pair, if I open it, it will show the credentials or say the key pair with the password for my specific EC2 instance. So as of now, we don't need to open it or say we are going to reuse it somewhere. We don't need that. We'll just save it. Okay, so okay, perfect. Okay, so this is the first step what our PPT said. So second is connect the instance. Okay, let's.
Yeah, Aditya, can we just ask if anybody has any questions from the step one?
Yeah, sure.
Somebody has any question? Anybody has any query, confusion? I'll allow the mic for everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see if people have any question.
Sure.
Anybody has any question? Maybe you can bring back that presentation, Aditya.
Yeah, sure.
For that step one, let people ask any questions. If somebody did not understand, somebody has any query. And if somebody is understood very well, maybe respond with a thumbs up so that we know if most of the view have understood. You can respond with a thumbs up. Very nice, very nice. Okay, Aditya, it's just a cautionary step to proceed next stage 2, and before after checking with people. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So let's get into the next slide, that is connect the instance. So coming back to the steps where we are right now, get to this stage. Okay, so okay, so we have created an key pair for your account. So now coming to the security group. Okay, so where are all the places where you are going to access your EC2 instance or say the output of a EC2 instance? So here we'll have to choose this. This is very important. That is one, that is allow SSH traffic, where you can actually access within your SSH, within your secure shell command. Second is HTTPS, and one is HTTP, both for locally and for publicly available. Locally in the sense in the local machine, and when we say publicly, we say throughout the. If I just share the link, you or anyone out of your friend can actually access it. So 000 stands for anywhere. Coming down. We need not to worry about the configure storage because we have already selected an by default what we call AMI for this particular EC2 instance. So there is another topic here, that is add new volume. So there was one thing in our PPT. When we go back to the PPT, okay, it comes furthermore, but I'll tell it now itself, that why do we need an volume? Why do we need an volume? There is a service or say there is an thing called elastic block storage or say a volume is created for it. So whenever you are deleting your instance, the first thing that comes to our mind is, if we delete, what about the data? What about the data that we had? So that data has to be stored somewhere. So we have to access it. So this is why we need to attach an volume. Suppose you delete an instance, we will still have a backup of the data that this instance has fetched for us. So yeah, so there is an option here for advanced details. We'll click on it. And these are all the things that we need not to worry about. that will be by default selected by Amazon machine image will just come down to the bottom. That is for this thing. We'll have to upload something, right, to execute. So from ChatGPT, I have already created. I mean, you need not even worry about it because this is a developer's job. So I've created a simple script for our EC2 instance to execute it. I'll come down here. I'll just paste it as it is given by the ChatGPT. So the data has to be base64 encoded, a developer's job again. So we'll come to this right side of the section of the EC2 instance. So this is also very important. So first thing, that is number of instances that we need. So we can create as much of instances that we want. Like we say we need hundreds of instances, we can create hundred of instances. But you need to, one thing that is you need to worry about is this is our free tier eligibility account. So we'll only use one instance as of now. So what are all the configurations that we have made? That is, we are using software AMI, that is for Amazon Linux, and we are going to create an type of or say type of instance that is T2 micro. This is very basic and very free. And when we say free, it comes with cons, right? So that the cons are it will load slowly, it will take some times to fetch the data, and that's all. I mean, that's very important. And also firewall. Firewall is nothing but a security or a layer which is protecting our EC2 instance. So nobody's gonna access it without our authorization or say authentication. So it is very important. We'll understand this topic in very clearly in VPC, that is virtual private cloud. And we have also attached a volume or say storage to have a backup of the data that EC2 instance is fetching. So now we'll launch an instance immediately. It will take a couple of minutes or say less than a minute to launch. Okay, the launch initiation has been failed. Okay, we need to check what went wrong. Okay, the key pair has been attached. Okay, so we will have to use an security group. That is also very important. I missed on it. We'll use this security group, and I think we are good to go now. Okay, this still launch initiation failed. So Linux to micro. Also, IP address to access use. Okay. Okay. This try to launch now. Okay, perfect. So we had to just add a security group. We missed on it. So now okay, so you have to read this carefully. Successfully initiated launch of instance. So it says the initialization request has been done, creating group security has been done, the group roles has been done, and also the launch of the EC2 instance has been done. But in real, it will take a couple of minutes or say maximum 2 to 3 minutes to actually launch our instance. We'll come back to this instance. So we have created my first instance, as you can see over here. So it stays running and the status is still initializing as you can see over here. So sometimes it takes some time. So okay, it has now come to a running state. Perfect. So you can click on this checkbox whenever you want to access the information about this. And we are now using a by default, that is US East 1A, that is freely provided by AWS. So this is the availability zone that we are using. You can actually see the configuration. I'll show you just a second. Yeah, I'll have to scroll. So this is the instance ID. This is the specific ID for our instance. If you remember, we used that 0000. So it is publicly available. You can just copy this and you can also click on this button and the EC2 can be, the output of the EC2 instance can be publicly accessed. Another is private IP4 that we can use for our local machine. We don't have an IPv6 because this is just a basic one and very we will be getting a very unique URL for that. The instance state is running public DNS. So this is a public DNS domain name system. So there is no such domain name system or say any URL, perfect URL for our launch of our EC2 instance. We can actually change it. Suppose your company name is let's say Red Hat, redhat.com. You can buy the domain for it and you can attach that domain to this services. Okay, so are there any few more? Okay, so type of instance that we choose before we launched our instance, we are using for IPv4A, that is private resource DNS. And are there any things that we need to come across? Okay, so also coming to this monitoring part, you can actually see it will take a minute. Yeah. So this is how you can how this is how you can monitor your EC2 instance. So there are CPU utilization. You can actually see how much your CPU was utilized and what time it was utilized. So we just now we have launched this, so we need not to worry about it. So we'll check the local time zone. Local time zones. It will show in the Indian time standard time. It will show the network. It will show the network out in, sorry, it will show the network which went out, but it will show the net which the network came in, and many such things. So you can actually monitor your EC2 instance. So coming to the security part, if you remember, we forgot to attach a security group, right? So here we can actually see what kind of security groups or say the firewall was attached to the EC2 instance. So this is very important, is attaching a security group. We will come across many part of the security groups in further classes, and that is for VPC, that is virtual private cloud. So there will be some inbound and outbound rules where a user is sending a request from his or her local machine. I'll maybe just Google it for you. When you click on, this is my company URL, when you search for this coyolia.com and you hit enter, in terms of virtual private cloud, it will show you, we will come to an understanding that how an API or say API request or say any request provided by user comes from outside outer bound and comes to the inner bound of the VPC, and the number of set of rules that we actually had in that VPC, that how many solid checks it has to done, and then after some sort of permissions, some checklists, and then again it comes out and then it comes to the user. When we are just hitting coyolia.com and entering, these are such many things that are happening in the backend within fraction of seconds, less than milliseconds. So there will be, if I scroll down, yeah, there will be outbound rules for that. We'll have to set it. We'll come across it in the further more classes. That is tomorrow for VPC. Yeah. So, okay, this is in running state. Okay, we'll go back to top. We'll come to the details. We'll use this. We'll copy this URL and we'll just simply paste it. Okay, we'll better use this direct URL provided by the instance, this open address. Yeah, so when you come to the free tier version, it will directly not show what exactly is loaded here. So what you will have to do, you will have to remove this HTTPS, just remove the S and then hit the enter, and the page that you are trying to load, it will load. This is very important. Just try to remember when you are using free tier, and when you come over here, you have to just remove one S HTTP slash, then you have to keep it as it is. Then you can actually access it. So when I was trying to run an EC2 instance, this is where we come to hello. I mean, this was written in my script that hello from AWS EC2. This page was created automatically from using startup script, which means I gave a script to EC2 and it just pinned up for me. So yeah. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to the slide because we are going step by step. Just a second. I'll just current slide. Okay, the first thing that we did is we tried to launch. Second thing we tried to did is connect, and third thing is use it. So basically, we also used it in terms of opening the IPv4 address that is for public. We just tried to open that link in our local machine. We can actually share that link to your friends or anyone, and they can access it locally. Okay. So let's get into components of EC2. One was, we'll have a quick revision of the components of EC2. One is Amazon machine image, where we get a pre-configured or say existing AMI, or say you can, if you create an AMI named Aditya, and you will have to save it. I mean, by default, it will be saved. That AMI can be reused again and again for the further configurations. Second is security group or say firewall for your EC2 instance. The thing that we forgot while we were creating EC2 instance, that is also very, very important, where we attach some security groups or say firewall for our EC2 instance. That will be by default provided by the this thing, AWS Management Console. Or if you want to have certain sort of things, then you will have to discuss with your team and then attach certain security groups. And another thing that we created was the key pair for the secure shell command. We can create two types of key pair, that is for secure shell command. Another is for PuTTY. PuTTY to access it locally through the Linux servers. Keep SSH, where you can access in any type of internet or Chrome or say any browser or any certain things, you can access it locally, publicly. Another is elastic block storage. This was attached for the volumes to have the backup of our data if the EC2 instances terminate. So what are all the things that we did in the EC2 launch workflow? One was launching the instance, connecting, configuring. So coming to the fourth step, which is very, very, very important when you create an account on your own and when you connect your debit card, the very important thing that you have to do is you have to terminate the instance. Very, very important. I'm highlighting this point. Okay, coming back. So I'll show it to you once again how exactly we need to do. I'll go back to the home screen. I'll come to the search section. I'll just simply search for EC2. Come to this. We'll come to this section, that is EC2 instances, or say just instances. Okay, this is the instance which is running for us. As you can see over here, it is in the running state. So what we'll do, we'll just check this box, and then we'll be able to access the entire things that are being attached to this specific server. So what we'll do, we'll click on this instance state. We will quickly, after our usage, we will quickly, okay, associated will be associated. Okay, you can stop it. So it has stated that the successfully initiation of the stopping phase of the instance has been done. So it shows stopping. So whenever you click on stop and you close the tab, it won't be stopped immediately. You have to keep the tab open for a minute or two and try to not refresh over here, but refresh over here in this section of the dashboard. So you try to refresh. It is still in the stopping stage. It means that it is taking some time. So you have to wait for it. Wait for a minute or two, or so maximum 3 to 4 minutes. But you have to wait in the specific tab or say the dashboard of the EC2 instance. So we'll just keep refreshing it. It will take some time. Yeah, so now the instance has been stopped. So we have used for like say less than 5 or 10 minutes. You will never get a bill for this, and you have to always use the free type of uh, services that come along with. We have to use only free ones that when we are using our account. So when you come to the company or say you're working in a live project, at that time you will be allotted and you will be told that only this type of services that you have to use, or say you are at a senior post, then you will have to create your own ideas and you have to implement that in your project, and you will have to select those type of instances, and only that services will be allotted to people. So now it has come to a stopped stage. So there is another state that you can do, is that you can directly terminate it. So if you terminate it, you need not to worry. Sorry. So we'll have to, I mean, we can terminate it after shutting down or say stopping it. So it is now in the shutting down stage. So it will still take some time. Okay, perfect. But we'll still refresh it. So now it is terminated, as you can see over here. The instance has been terminated. Unless and until you see this, you need not to close your tab, or else no money will be deducted, but you will be continuously receiving mails from Amazon that your bill is this $5, $10, $15, or whatever. No money will be deducted, but you will be receiving mails from them. So this is very important phase of the launching, or say the entire process of the EC2 instance. So just a second. Okay. One is launching. What are all the things that we did? We launched the instance, we made some configuration, then we connected, and then we also configured. Say simply we just hosted a live thing that was welcome to Amazon EC2 and thing. And the last important thing that was terminating of the EC2 instance. This was also very important. Okay. So coming to the cost optimization, like how we can actually save money. When we say we are coming to the virtualization or say we are coming to the cloud, it doesn't mean that it comes at a very lower cost. It does come at a lower cost, but we will have to create some strategies for that thing. So one thing that you have to do, as I told you and I highlighted like 3-4 times, you have to stop or terminate the instances that are no more in use. So you'll have to regularly keep an eye that okay, ये वाला सर्वर हम यूज नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो ये 10 दिन हो चुका है, ये बंद पड़ा है, कोई एक्सेस नहीं कर रहा, नॉट बंद पड़ा है, ये ऐसे ही पड़ा है बट कोई यूज नहीं कर रहा है, we will quickly terminate that instance. This is very, very important. Another is used reserved instances. Okay, so when we came to yesterday's class, we came across some pricing models or say type of models that we can take. So so when a company is trying to host their website, what happens is they basically keep it live throughout the year, right? So we have an affirmation that okay, मेरा website साल के 12 महीने चालू रहेगा या फिर उससे ज्यादा भी रहेगा. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, एक साल के लिए, that is for 1 year, will directly pay upfront and that I'm sure about it. So समझो मेरा सर्विस मुझे बेसिकली एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं, मेरा सर्विस मुझे 100 रुपए ले रहा है पर मंथ एंड साल का हो रहा है अराउंड 1200. सो 100 रुपए पर मंथ, 1200 पर ईयर. सो AWS क्या बोलता है, सो एक काम कर, 1200 100 रुपए करके 1200 मत भर, एक काम कर मुझे अपफ्रंट कॉस्ट दे दे अराउंड, इट विल गिव यू अ डिस्काउंट, दे विल गिव यू अ डिस्काउंट बाय डिफॉल्ट इफ यू आर टेकिंग इट अपफ्रंट. So it will give you a discount around 75% and it will come down to lesser than 500 and including GST it will be little more. So ये बहुत अच्छा चीज है and we can actually take a real example when we are trying to recharge your Jio SIM. एक महीने के लिए करोगे it will come around 350, but when you do it for higher months like 3 months, 6 months, a year, they will be providing us discounts. It is a very simple and a very most used type of service model or say pricing model taken by customers. So this is very important that we have to know that what exactly reserved instance is. And yeah, okay. So let's get into another type of instance that is a spot instance. Basically, many less people uses it, but when you are not sure and you are gonna use it for very less time period, you are gonna use this spot instance. Another is monitor and AWS tool. So yesterday, as we created a budget for AWS account, and I also shown you that how we can track our expenses on AWS. So this is how you can monitor it. So I'll quickly come back to the Teams screen. I'll stop sharing. So if you have any questions in this part till now, like how we created a EC2 instance, how we loaded it, and we can, okay, we can go ahead. So if you have any questions, you can ask. If you have any questions related to how we launched the instance, how we added the code, how we made the configuration, if you want me to do it again, I can do that. I hope the chat is visible to everyone, right, Ravikant sir?
Yeah, it is. People can perhaps unmute themselves and also they can talk if they want to. Mic is allowed. You can unmute.
Okay. Okay. So if you have any questions or say, don't be worried about that part. I mean, this is a new thing for you all. It was new thing for me. I came back to the same thing like a couple of times. Then I came to understanding that, okay, yeah, ऐसे चलता है. This is how we create an instance. This is how we stop an instance. So if you have any such questions, you can drop in the chat or you can open your mic and you can ask directly to me. Because this is very important. Without EC2 instance, nobody can become a cloud engineer. और मे बी वी हैव सच पीपल जो घर जाके रिकॉर्डिंग देख के समझेंगे. ओके So I'll create a poll for you all. At least there you can respond if you are
हेलो
willing to. Okay, Sai Kumar.
सर, अगर आप HTML का कोड लिखे ना सर अभी।
No, it was just a simple PHP script, not HTML.
सर, अगर हम मतलब जावास्क्रिप्ट, CSS और HTML तीनों को कंबाइन करेंगे तो मतलब वो कोड अलग अलग, मतलब हम जावास्क्रिप्ट का कोड अलग से लिखेंगे और CSS का
Okay.
अलग से और HTML का अलग से लिखेंगे सर।
हम्म
तो अगर हमें इसमें EC2 इंस्टेंस लॉन्च करते वक्त अगर हमें मतलब वहाँ पे किस तरह लिखना चाहिए सर हमें?
Okay, ठीक है. तो when we were trying to create an EC2, I'll answer this in two way. What we can do, I mean two solutions for this. One is एक option होता है upload file करने का. When I was trying to upload my code, वहाँ पे आप upload file कर सकते हो as entire code. और what we can do, एक और सर्विस है, मैं अभी बताने वाला हूँ. Very simple service, Amazon AWS Lambda. सो लैम्डा क्या करता है, इट विल क्रिएट एन एनवायरनमेंट फॉर यू. जैसे आपका लैपटॉप में VS कोड होता है या जो भी विंडसर्फ होता है या बहुत सारे वैसे चीजें हैं. तो व्हाट इट विल डू, इट विल क्रिएट एन एंटायर एनवायरनमेंट विद इन द क्लाउड फॉर यू, वेर अ डेवलपर कम्स, logs into his account, his or her account, and he or she can quickly access the entire cloud infrastructure for that particular project. I'll show it to you in the next coming slide. It is very important. It is a good question. I'll show you how we can do. One thing, we can upload the file in the EC2. Second thing, what we can do, we can simply upload it, create an environment in the AWS Lambda. It comes at a cost, but it is very, very reliable. It's as easy as accessing GitHub. Okay, good question. Do we have any questions? Any such questions? Anything? Cloud क्या है, फिर से पूछ सकते हो. Okay. I'll create some. Okay. Okay, I'll just answer to this. I can't see the full question. Huh. EC2 disk is full. How to fix it? So what you can do, EC2, see, basically EC2 disk will never fill. It is that is the point of EC2, right? It has the ability of elasticity or say scalability. And when we say elasticity, it can expand as much as we want. And कभी भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ है कि AWS के पास कि आपका रिक्वायरमेंट ज्यादा है और AWS ने कभी कम दिया है. It will be always as easy as कि आपका समझो 1000 यूजर्स का आपको सर्वर्स का रिक्वायरमेंट है, आपका EC2 का उतना रिक्वायरमेंट है, उतना ज्यादा वो एक्सपेंड होता है. इट्स वेरी क्लियर एंड वेरी वेरी सिंपल थिंग. आई होप आई आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन. Ajay, it will never be full, it will expand. Any more questions? Okay. Any more questions?
Hey,
We are
hi.
open for it. Hello.
Triveni here.
Hi, Triveni.
So I have a basic question. Like, if we create an instance right now, like you have created,
Okay.
तो हम उसमें सिर्फ एक ही एप्लीकेशन रन कर सकते हैं या वन और मोर?
ओके, while I was creating an instance, वहां पे आपको मैंने बताया था ना कि अभी फिलहाल के लिए हम बना रहे हैं तो एक ही इंस्टेंस सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. तो हमारा रिक्वायरमेंट जब ज्यादा होता है या हमारा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन बहुत बड़ा होता है, जैसे समझो एक बड़ा एप्लीकेशन हम होस्ट करना चाहते हैं जैसे कि जोमेटो, उसमें बहुत सारे चीजें होती है ना, जैसे कि हमको इंटीग्रेशंस करने होते हैं पेटीएम पेमेंट एप्लीकेशंस के साथ, जैसे कि पेटीएम फोन पे हो गया, हमारा इंटीग्रेशन करना होता है गूगल मैप्स के साथ. तो उसके लिए हमारा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन और इंफ्रा रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ जाता है. तो उस टाइम पे हम ज्यादा नंबर ऑफ सर्वर्स लेंगे. दिस इज हाउ वी सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम.
ओके, थैंक यू.
या it is completely dependent on our requirement. Configuration requirements ही बनता है और वो डेवलपर ही बताएगा. Any more questions? I'm creating a poll meanwhile. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Anything related to cloud. Okay. I have created a poll. You can respond to it. So the question is, which workload do you think needs the most power? Like कौन सा ऐसा वर्कलोड है इन चारों में से जिसको वर्क प्रेशर या फिर से कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ज्यादा लगता है? Can you try to guess? ऐसा ऐसा सोचिए कि आपका मोबाइल यूज कर रहे हो एंड मोबाइल में ऐसा कौन सी चीज आप यूज करना चाहते हो जिसके लिए इंटरनेट ज्यादा खर्च होता है? वेरी सिंपल. अभी समझो हम 4-5 साल पहले जाते हैं, 1-1 GB का रिचार्ज करते थे जो हम महीना भर यूज करते थे, तो किस चीज में हमारा इंटरनेट सबसे ज्यादा जाता था बिफोर एंटरिंग इनटू जियो's era? वेरी इजी आंसर है. Let's see how many people have responded. Okay, a few says running a okay video rendering. You can click on the poll, right? You can click on the poll.
Actually,
It's,
we are unable to click on the poll, so
oh,
that is
really?
why. Yeah,
Okay.
there like we get some warning called this feature isn't available.
Okay, is it? Okay, no worries, you can type
Yeah.
them. If okay, if the
Are
problem
you,
is
are
same
you
for you all, you
connected from
can.
mobile phone or laptop, Triveni?
Laptop, sir.
So are you logging in from browser or you have a local Teams instance?
A local team instance, sir.
Okay. Very fair enough. It should not happen, but maybe some restriction at your desktop level.
Yeah, last time even I was unable to text also, but this time I
Mhm.
can send a message, but I'm still unable to poll.
Okay.
Okay, so I hope the chat is available for everyone. So I'll create. Okay, basically I'll create a poll and I want you people to respond in the chat. That will be the better way. Okay, I have launched the instance. Sorry, not the instance. I have launched the poll. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Oh, sorry, type or maybe open your mic. So, what step do you think is most often forgotten by a beginner while he's trying to access or create an EC2 instance in the cloud? The chat is open for you all. Okay, some say terminate, some say configure. Okay. So let me answer for these two questions. So we'll understand the options first. तो पहले क्वेश्चन में जाते हैं. Which workload do you think needs the most power or say most internet consumption in simple words? पहला है वीडियो रेंडरिंग, दूसरा है ओके वीडियो रेंडरिंग इज द आंसर बेसिकली. तो आप जब वीडियो रेंडर करना चाहते हो, वीडियो लोड करना चाहते हो, वीडियो का साइज बड़ा होता है, वीडियो में बहुत सारे कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं जिसको लोड करने के लिए इंटरनेट ज्यादा लगता है. सेकंड इज रनिंग अ वर्डप्रेस वेबसाइट, जो कि बहुत लोगों ने आंसर किया है, जो कि बिल्कुल गलत है. वर्डप्रेस वेबसाइट इज द लाइटेस्ट वेबसाइट दैट वी कैन एवर हैव एन इंटरनेट. आप कुछ भी क्लिक करो इमीडिएटली क्लिक हो जाता है, ओनली डिपेंडेंट ऑन योर इंटरनेट. आपका इंटरनेट अच्छा है तो एक एक सेकंड में आपका वर्डप्रेस क्लिक होता है, क्योंकि उसमें कुछ भी कंपोनेंट्स नहीं होते. Backup storage when we say we are using drive or something, if our internet is good, the backup will be done in less than a minute. Also depend upon the size of the data. Also simple database is nothing but SQL servers or any such things where we can uh, load our data, or say we are using S3, we will understand that what exactly S3 is. So I'll skip this part about simple database. We'll get into the next. It will be for tomorrow's class. And getting to the next question, that is, what step do you think is most often forgotten by beginners? इसका आंसर हमने पिछले 5-10 मिनट में जो किया वही है कि टर्मिनेट करना लोग भूल जाते हैं. कॉन्फ़िगर करना कोई नहीं भूलता. कॉन्फ़िगरेशन हमको बाय डिफॉल्ट मिला जाता है और कॉन्फ़िगरेशन हमारा आंसर नहीं, टर्मिनेट हमारा आंसर होना चाहिए. So, okay, I'll share my screen. There is one more thing that I was going to tell you in the slide. Give me a minute. So I'll just come to the section that कैसे काम करता है AWS Lambda. So I'll come to this. I hope my entire screen is visible. Ravi sir. Hello.
Yeah, Aditya, it is visible. It is visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I'll come to this search section of the management console. I'll simply search for Lambda. I'll click on it. Okay, so once I click on it, there is an okay. So existing, जैसे कि आप बोल रहे थे साई कुमार, मल्टीपल कोडिंग लैंग्वेजेस में आपको करना है पैरेलली रन, तो यहाँ पे तो एक ही टाइम पे एक ऑप्शन दे रहा है. तो हम जैसे हम समझो सबको जावा आती है मतलब इजीली, या फिर पाइथन आता है, ओके पाइथन लेते हैं. तो पाइथन तो बेसिकली सबको आता है, हम यहाँ पे रन करते हैं. इट सेज हेलो लैम्डा, तो हम इसमें लिखते हैं हेलो फ्रॉम लैम्डा को हटा देते हैं हम. ओके, वी कैन नॉट एडिट, एडिटिंग इज डिसेबल्ड. तो इसको कैसे एक्सेस करते हैं? सो व्हाट विल डू बेसिकली, पहले देख लो, आप एक बार एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हो आप खुद से भी. बहुत सारे लैंग्वेजेस है यहाँ पे, आपको जो भी आती है. मुझे तो बस जावा और पाइथन और नोड जैसा आता है इसमें से. आई डोंट नो नेट डॉट नेट. I'll create a function. I'll click on it. I'll say my first function. I'll use Node.js नहीं लेते यार, Java लेते हैं. We'll take Java. We'll use this bit 86, and I'll create a function for it. I need not to worry about the configuration क्योंकि by default मेरे पास बहुत सारी configurations होती है. So it is creating. AWS is always slow because सब सर्वर्स ऑनलाइन एक्सेस करने होते हैं, तो कभी कभी स्लो होता है, लेकिन दैट इज द फास्टेस्ट ओवर द इंटरनेट. ओके, तो अभी स्क्रीन पे हम आ गए, ये हमारा डैशबोर्ड है. सो इट सेज इट हैज क्रिएटेड अ न्यू वन. तो टेम्पलेट नहीं चाहिए हमें. ओके, सो दिस इज द जेसन फोल्डर. जेसन फोल्डर आप बेसिकली इसलिए यूज करा जाता है जब आपका बैकएंड और बैकएंड को कनेक्टिविटी करना होता है, या फिर आपका बहुत सारा डेटा जो होता है, जैसे कि हमारा समझो आपके वेबसाइट में आपको रेजर पे इंटीग्रेशन करना है, तो रेजर पे इंटीग्रेशन के जो कीज होते हैं वो सब हम इसमें रखा जाता है. तो एक मिनट दो, आई जस्ट क्रिएट एन सेक्शन डेस्टिनेशन. नो, वी डोंट नीड अ डेस्टिनेशन. One is we can upload, that is very easy. I mean, we can simply upload our file. जैसे साई कुमार बोल रहे थे कि हमारा मल्टीपल कोड होता है, जैसे कि समझो फ्रंट एंड हो गया, मतलब रिएक्ट जेस वगैरह, एंड बैक एंड में नोड जेस, एंड हमें अपना डेटाबेस भी कनेक्ट करना होता है. तो बहुत सारे डेटाबेस ऑनलाइन आ चुके हैं, वी कैन एक्चुअली यूज इट. सो वी कैन एक्चुअली अपलोड अवर कोड. देयर इज वन मोर ऑप्शन, दैट इज वी कैन एक्चुअली create our own environment. I'm just trying to find it. Okay, give me a minute. I'll look for it. We can create a very good environment in it. Just a second. Okay, I'm not able to find it because they have changed this thing of the entire AWS management console. वो change होते रहता है. Every week they bring an update. So I'll get back to you people with that thing. मतलब अभी हम समझ चुके हैं कैसे AWS Lambda काम करता है. हमें अगर अपना existing code होता है जैसे हम GitHub में upload करते हैं, इसमें भी वैसे ही किया जाता है. Very easy. And you can monitor it. अभी I cannot upload it. That's the thing. Okay. Knowledge check पे आते हैं quickly. We'll just from current slide. Perfect. So आज हमने क्या क्या सीखा? एक है EC2. Okay. We'll better get into our first slide. सब चीजें इसी में होती है. Perfect. हमने ये सीखा है EC2 इंस्टेंस क्या होता है. हमने ये देखा है कि किस टाइप के EC2 इंस्टेंस होते हैं. जैसे कि हमने कॉन्फ़िगरेशन बना रहे थे T2 माइक्रो, T3 माइक्रो, उसमें फ्री वाला हमने सेलेक्ट किया था. थर्ड इज की कंपोनेंट्स, दैट इज वी हैव क्रिएटेड एन AMI फॉर आवर EC2 इंस्टेंस. We have created security groups. We have created key pairs for it. अनदर इज लॉन्च वर्कफ्लो. किस तरह से लॉन्च किया जाता है, लॉन्च करा जाता है, कनेक्ट किया जाता है, यूज किया जाता है और टर्मिनेट किया जाता है. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन EC2. वो अनदर इज कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन. देखो सिंपल है. हम कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइज करने के लिए ये देखते हैं कि एक कस्टमर ने पिछले 6 महीने में ये सर्वर कितनी बार यूज किया है और कितने दिनों से बंद पड़ा है. अगर हम देख पा रहे हैं कि 2 महीने से बंद पड़ा है बट स्टिल वी आर पेइंग फॉर इट, देन हम वो सर्वर को ही टर्मिनेट कर देंगे. सो दिस इज हाउ वी हैव अंडरस्टूड. हमने ये देखा कि ECS क्या होता है, लैम्डा क्या होता है, AWS लैम्डा. I'll come back to you people. I'm not able to find it. Basically यही there should be an option. I'll get back to you people with this. Just begin with it tomorrow. So just a second. I'll try to reshare my screen. 1 second. Here it is. Perfect. So what are the things that we are going to learn tomorrow? That is again have a very simple EC2 instance launch. Another is AWS S3, and we'll come to this part of, as Avinash sir was saying in the beginning of the session, that he's going to help me with this. That is cloud deployment architecture, and also the RFP. He's going to have a very good session with you all. So I hope you people join tomorrow around 11 a.m. same time. So yeah. So this is all from my end for today. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat box. I hope I am audible to you all. Ravi sir, am I audible? या मैं अकेले बात कर रहा हूँ? Hello.
You're audible, Aditya.
Okay, Kaja, thank you. So if you have any such questions, क्या होता है, कैसे कुछ कोड लोड करना होगा, तो you can ask me. Can a stopped instance be still be built? Stopped और terminated में difference होता है. तो stop में क्या होता है, our instance will be still there, right? A server will be assigned to us. So that instance will be built unless and until it is not terminated. Terminated मतलब क्या होता है, आपके नाम पे जो रिजर्व होता है वो चला जाता है. So when we say stopped, समझो stopped क्या होता है. तो अभी आप एक घर रेंट पे ले रहे हो 1 महीने के लिए 5,000 रुपए देके, या फिर किसी होटल में रुक रहे हो. बेस्ट एग्जांपल होटल का है. तो होटल में आप क्या कहना चाहते हो पता है, मैं होटल में चेक इन करूंगा, 4 दिन रहूंगा, सामान मेरा वही रहेगा, लेकिन मैं 5वें दिन के लिए बाहर घूमने जाऊंगा. So it is like I'm still able to pay that bill for the 5th day, right? So yes, it will be billed unless and until you terminate it. Any more questions? Terminate करिए याद से when you launch an EC2 instance. It is very important for you all. Any more questions? Okay, then we'll end the meeting. Thank you all for
Hello,
joining.
Aditya. I want
Huh,
to make one
fully.
announcement here.
Sorry?
Hello, everyone. Am I audible, right?
Yes, you are clearly audible.
Uh, I will be taking afternoon session on Python, fundamentals of Python, what is core Python, as we have completed about Excel and basic of data analytics. So we will be moving towards Python and the core concept of data analytics. How we can use Python for code, like core data analytics. So you can join class in afternoon. So you can learn more about what is Python, how you can use in data, how you can do all the operations using Python. So that's will be our session in afternoon 3:30. Hope I can see you all there. That's it from my side. We'll meet everyone at 3:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you, Koja. So I guess this is the wrap of today's class for cloud. See you all at data analytics session. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.